Welcome in. It's the Positively Petland Show, AM 800 KXIC, and at KXIC.com, where you can catch the podcast, the program. Ron Solzard here from Petland of Iowa City. I'm Jay Caper, and we're talking pets. Always a lot of fun. We've got our amazing pet story of the week coming up. We've got the holiday season upon us. Don't forget Sparky when you're putting together that list. Everyone's got those holiday lists that every year Devin and I do that. We get our lists together. There's the people we know we need to buy for. And you can bet Lucy and Zoe are always on that list. We're always picking up something for our kitties. And sometimes they find it before Christmas morning, too. They'll sniff out that catnip. And you got to wait. You got to wait till Santa drops it off. But
my cat, I found this and it's no longer available.
Gilbert
the cat. I found at a trade show. It was pellet infused catnip. So it was like a silica pellet. They infused high potency catnip in it. I had it in a briefcase inside a bag. I put the briefcase down in the house. My cat was clawing at the bag. When I finally got it out, we all know the cats go crazy over that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm talking, that thing was getting thrown 12 feet. It was just like trying to get to it. It was really entertaining.
Yeah.
And I wish they could still make it. I don't know what happened down there, but we just all of a sudden couldn't get them anymore.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
But you do have some items, I'm sure.
We have Yow catnip,
right?
that is high potency. This one was like synthetic, kind of a thing, because they had extracted it and all that kind of stuff. We have natural. It is the strongest catnip I've ever found. And this one, okay, so the toss is only about 10 feet for this one.
Still loves it, though. And so you don't forget your pets. That was my message there, is that, it's always fun to make sure that they are part of the family as well around the holiday season. So get your gifts. Petland of Iowa City has thousands of products. You can just walk up and down their aisles, and you will likely find something for your furry, feathered, scaled friend, whatever it may be. Ron, how are things going at the store?
On fire. Everything is really, really good. A lot of customers having fun and finding the right pets for them. And so it's always fun. Somebody was asked, we had a young lady a senior from Regina in the store yesterday and was just interviewing. There's a lot of students in the town that like to interview. And it's for class projects and stuff. And so she was like, I just want to understand a pet store and what it's like, kind of thing. So, the good questions of, what brought you into the business? What's your background? What do you like most?
Yeah, you took the common path of being an engineer to being a pet store owner, right?
Yeah.
Just like my zoology path to radio, right?
When we first did this, my kids were young. They were in grade school. And my daughter is one of our real good friends to this day, a real good friend. I said, so for one, it was, you own a pet store? That was a big thing to get over. No, you don't. You can't own a pet store. So got over that. So your dad got a degree in pet store?
Right. Yeah.
No,
not even a business degree, really, right?
I ended up getting my master's is engineering management, which is the business aspect of things. So
that probably helped you out, I would guess.
Yeah, you know what? There's nothing like doing it though. Running a business, you got to jump in and it's sink or swim. Yeah. We had a really nice conversation looking back at if somebody would go into the podcast for the Positively Petland show when Laura from Wolfables was here. You missed a little bit of that. We had a dynamic, really cool conversation about owning a business and in the pet industry.
Oh, cool! I'll have to listen to that.
It was
I had to get out.
Fascinating what she came out with, and then there was so many things that we related with as far as running a business as well.
I bet. I bet. That's Ron Salzer. And you mentioned finding the right pet for the right family. That is your mission. That's what you do daily, and that's what we're going to talk about today. That's one of the main topics today. Is people come in, and some people there's a percentage that say, I want a golden retriever because when I was a kid, I had a golden retriever. My dad had a golden retriever. We've always had them. That's what I want. And it's done. That's what they want. They know the breed. That's what they're done. And that's easy. You know what they want. They get it. And that's it. There's a lot of people that come and say, we want a family pet. We want a family dog. And then they are all runners in the family. And we want a dog to run with. Well, but they love bulldogs. Well, then you find out that, that bulldog's not going to run with you. So you're always working to try to find the right fit for the right family.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm imagining, even if they have had those memories, there's an effort to convince them to go a different direction, even because of their lifestyle, right?
Right. Well, yeah. Remember, when you were a kid and you grew up with, you've had a Weimaraner as an adult.
Yep.
What dog did you grow up with?
I had a half collie, half lab, and then labs, mostly labs.
Right. And so as a kid, labs, but you weren't taking care of that lab. Oh, yes. No, you weren't. Mom and dad, they were.
I would.
Yeah.
Of course, I said I would.
And so what's interesting is talking with people, as an adult in this situation. Well, okay, do you remember, you got to go out and pick up the poop or the fur, the shedding? When there was no shedding, oh, you didn't notice your mom vacuuming a lot, did you? Like kind of thing. So
yeah,
it's those things that they need to understand and say, oh, well, maybe that's not the right breed for me right now.
Yeah,
I live in an apartment. I don't, and I'm not home for weeks at a time, kind of a thing. So maybe something else, a fish.
Yeah,
might be.
Well, and I'm thinking that a lot of times by talking about some of these things right out of the gate, that helps you long term, because the customer's not coming back saying, wait a minute, and so that by getting that out there has got to be a big part of.
Yeah, it's always uncomfortable when somebody doesn't get the right pet.
Yeah,
it's uncomfortable for everybody. It's uncomfortable for the customer, and whether they are taking responsibility or not, they kind of come back and say it's not my fault, it's your fault. And so we have to work with. Just yesterday, gentleman, I wasn't there when he did it. He's got 4 kids, want to get a rabbit for the house. And guess what? I have 4 kids. I need 4 rabbits. Well, that didn't work out as well as he thought. And so we talked through it and said, okay, so what are some best options for us and all that kind of a thing? Here is the boundaries that we've laid down, okay, as far as returns and all that, but let's work with you. Let's figure out a solution here. And so we did. He was extremely happy. His daughter was a little somber because she had to give up one of the rabbits, but now they have they have 2 rabbits, more manageable situation, and that works better for them.
Yeah.
So you work through those.
No doubt. That's Ron Salzer with Petland of Iowa City. We have our amazing pet story of the week. We'll do that, and then we'll come back. We're going to talk about that. What else are we going to talk about besides meeting the needs of both?
Characteristics. So a lot of people are considering dogs right now for Christmas for the family. So we're going to talk about generalities, big versus small, stinky, which is kind of an odd thing, versus less stinky, shedding versus non-shedding, those kind of things. So we're going to go through those, and then we're going to talk about keeping your dog comfortable. A lot of people are asking questions on how can I help my dog do this better or not have this pain and all that. So we're going to talk through some ideas there. And then finally, we're in the season of fun and eating good and all that kind of stuff. We have a canned food by Merrick that when you open this stuff up for your dog or your cat, it smells so good you're going to want to eat it, but you're not. So this is something you want to check out and make sure you know about and get some for your
Thanksgiving or now Christmas feast.
Yes.
All right. Well, big voice guy, here he comes. Oh, he's got a Santa hat on.
For the amazing
very festive
story of the week.
But
nothing else.
No. He had a Santa Claus outfit, but his hairy chest kind of bleached through that. Hey, but he's got all dark hair.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. Hey, you got to like bleach it. Bleach your beard white or something there.
Well, he left.
He's like,
he doesn't want our advice.
I think he was kind of turned off by what you said.
I think so. Oh, well. I don't care what that guy has to say anyway.
He does a nice job, though. You got to say he's got a great voice.
Yeah, he does. He's a big voice guy. That's why we call him that. So in this particular story, we go to Australia. And so we're going down under for this story. And how about this? A 76-year-old man was trapped under his vehicle for 4 days before help arrived. This can happen sometimes in more rural areas if there's not someone that checks on you all the time. And what happened was he became trapped under his vehicle, but Boydie, his Australian Kelpie, became his true companion. According to the Daily Telegraph, Schultz crashed his car in a rural area. After hitting a tree, he was pinned beneath the vehicle. 2 neighbors started searching for him and couldn't find him. Well, they ended up finding him, and the dog laid behind him, kept him warm a lot of the time, reportedly. And the man ended up recovering and being fine. But Kelpie, for 4 days, stood by his side in Australia. Great story there. And another example of how pets are amazing, and that's why we have the amazing pet story of the week. We'll be right back with more after this. The PAWSitively Petland Show. Second part of the show coming up. What? 800 KXIC Morning Host Jay Capron with Ron Salzer from Petland of Iowa City. What do we talk about this week, Ron?
It's getting Christmas time. We're going to talk about what's the right breed for you as far as stinky versus non-stinky. Kind of a funny conversation. Or shedding versus less shedding. All those things that we talk about, but do we really know what that all means? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into how to comfort your dog and cat during this winter season, making them real comfortable as far as aches and pains. And then we're going to get into the best canned food you'll ever hear, and you're going to have to get some of this for your cat and dog.
It's the right pet for the right family and meeting the needs of both. It's the Positively Petland Show, Sunday mornings at 9 and at KXIC.com.
I really like your
Perfect.
Do that tag every single time.
Yeah?
Yeah. That end part.
Yeah, okay. If I remember, I think I will.
I'll have to
try to remind me.
Yeah.
All right. Ready to rock?
We are rolling.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. It's the Positively Petland Show, AM 800 KXIC, KXIC.com. I'm Jay Capron. Ron Salzard here with Petland of Iowa City, and we're talking pets. And we're talking about the mission of Petland of Iowa City, and that's the right pet for the right family and meeting the needs of both to make sure everybody's happy. We talked about that a little bit last segment, but more now, and we're going to talk about some of the things that you should consider when thinking about a pet, and things as simple as shedding, non-shedding, stinky, non-stinky. I mean, people probably don't like to choose the stinky option, but the pet that they love might have some stinky issues, right?
I don't want you to go into it though with knowledge. So if if you're adamant that you want a basset hound, just know, hey, that's a stinky dog. These are things you're going to need to do as a result if you want to de-stinkify little Mr. Bobby the Basset down the road here. So I think it's a know what you're getting into. We said, and there's no statistic on here, but it's kind of like 50% of the people that come in know exactly what they want, and that they're adamant about a specific breed. I just want to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. But then the rest of us are out there going, you know what? This is what I'm looking for. And make sure that you understand it, because we're going to talk about big versus small dogs, shedding versus non-shedding. And on that one, I thought this a long time ago. Oh, I want a low maintenance dog, which means I want a non-shedding dog. And I personally experienced that one and found out, ooh, those two don't go together. And so understand what is a low maintenance dog and the characteristics of it, and is that the right breed for you? And then finally, stinky versus less stinky, just so you know what breeds kind of stink more and what breeds stink less, kind of thing.
So are we doing we're not going to do a specific breed today then?
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I didn't say that on the front end, but you are correct.
All right. So, and usually we'll have a breed to just talk about, but that's fine. We'll take a break from that for the week. So let's talk about what's the big or small, right? That should probably be a good place to start.
Right. And so what is your lifestyle? Are you somebody, and what do you envision for that dog? Are you going to want to go running with that dog? Is that your exercise partner kind of a thing? Or is it, you know what, I'm a little slower. I'm an exercise person, but I don't run much. I bike. Okay, that's probably not going to be a good mix for a dog. And so what is your lifestyle? Also, what's going on in your house kind of a thing? Are you really, are you able to modify your house to accommodate a large breed and all that? So a big breed is going to be more of everything. So when they have energy, they have more energy because of the size of the dog. When they get riled, they're tougher to get back under control. You can do it, and there's plenty of families out there that have large breeds that are going, well, mine's a lazy dog. You worked with them and you figured those things out. And then there are the Mastiffs are kind of lazy dogs, where a Doodle boy, they got some energy where I don't know where they find it, but holy cow, would you just wear out already? So a big dog is going to require more activity. You're going to need to take them out more. You're going to need to throw the ball around more. And I'm talking daily and all that kind of a thing. They're going to eat more. Hey, do you have a budgetary constraint? You're going to go through 3 bags of large bags of food a month, possibly with the biggest of them, versus 1 bag for 3 months for a small one.
Big difference.
So there's that's $50 versus $150 a month. So what is that? Something that you need to be paying attention to. So activity is the biggest thing, I think, for most people. I love small dogs because they're small and active. Yeah, but they're this little thing running around.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of just funny watching them bounce off the walls, because they got so much.
And if you've had enough, you can just pick them up.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Get you over here. And then they also can get the smaller ones. And so this is a smaller, medium down to small. So we're talking 20 pounds on down all and less. Those dogs get all the energy they need out in your house. They can run around. They got plenty of room and all that kind of stuff. And so in those, are you the person in winter that doesn't want to go outside? Okay, you want that smaller dog because that big dog got to get out there and get her all, energied out and everything. So smaller dog, active wise, they might be just as active, but they're a smaller body, so it's a much easier thing. Then let's see, I'm trying to go through big versus small. I think we hit everything there. Oh, yeah, I did food. Okay, so I hit everything on the big and small, on the big things. Shedding versus non-shedding. And I'm going to also talk about low maintenance versus high maintenance here. So everybody's, a lot of people are all about the non-shedding breeds and all that kind of stuff. And I think everybody gets it. It's, I don't want that fur all over the house.
Right.
We have a friend that got a collie. They have had a collie for a long time. And whenever you go over to their house, I mean, they had to get a special vacuum system just to the daily shed of that dog. I brought a Furminator over. I go, I want to show you what it is. And I just did 1 spot. And so a very small portion of this big dog, it took me 20 minutes on 1 spot. So we're talking hours.
Yeah.
But
then if you keep up with it, it's not
but then if you keep up, you're fine. But a big dog is more maintenance on that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So I get the whole shedding. Yeah, you don't want that. Non-shedding, though, they still are going to shed a little bit. Nobody doesn't shed. Just like we would be considered non-shedding animals in that, generality that people talk about.
Right.
But we still shed.
Yeah.
My wife's hair. I wish I could grow hair like my wife because, gosh, in the bathroom, it's all over the place on a daily basis. And so, but she doesn't have a problem with producing it because it just, is huge. So even non-shedding dogs will shed a little bit, but a lot less. So now this whole low maintenance versus high maintenance aspects of things. So a shedding dog is actually, you can consider it a lower maintenance dog as far as cleaning it and all that kind of thing. You usually don't have to blow dry them and do all that kind of a thing. And then when you get to these smaller dogs, so there's not much surface area there. So yes, they shed, but there's just not much to shed, kind of a thing. So a dachshund, a chihuahua, a miniature pinscher, they all have short hair, but they're small. And so you really don't notice the shedding in your house as a result. That's a very low maintenance dog. On top of that, when you go big versus small, these smaller dogs are easy to wash. You just throw them in the sink, wash them up, all that kind of stuff, towel dry them, let them go. And that's it. On the bigger dogs, now you got a bathtub, or if it's in the summer, you might even be doing it outside. You've got more of a task that you got to get through, more body, more shampoo that you got to get through. So I'm not saying I love large breeds, but I'm that kind of person that says I love it when somebody else owns them because of that maintenance aspect of it. I love playing with them and wrestling with them and throwing the ball. So I prefer, though, in my own house, a smaller dog. And we have a dachshund. And she is really low maintenance because she's small, shorter fur. She is shedding, so we don't have to get her groomed. Susie is even smaller. We don't find her hair anywhere. She's a Maltese poodle, so she's a non-quote-unquote shedder. But I'm always working with her eyes because she's got tear stains. I'm having to trim her pads and stuff like that because the hair gets long. We got to go to the groomer about every month and a half to 2 months because she mats up if we don't. So there's more maintenance on a non-shedding dog as a result.
Yeah, I grew up with bigger dogs like labs, and I never realized how much easier it is to pick up in the yard for smaller dogs until I recently helped out when my in-laws have a dachshund.
Yeah.
And I went around in the yard with this little scooper. I'm like, this isn't so bad. Just these little Tootsie Rolls. I know it sounds really gross, but I was done like quickly.
Yeah.
But it was just a bigger deal with the big poop. I mean, that, and I imagine that you times whatever with mastiffs.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I mean, that's a bigger job.
It's people size.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was an observation I had, is that was just pretty easy. I just walked around and raked it up and it was done.
Oh, large breed owners laugh at us small breed owners by picking up in the yard. Why do you even bother? It was their thing. They're going
so tiny. Yeah.
You can't even find them out here. What's the point?
Yeah.
So that's a great maintenance issue as far as big versus small right there. So awesome. And then the final thing I wanted to get into is a stinky dog versus a less stinky dog. So all dogs can be stinky in that, they got body odors. Here, think about it. How often do we take showers? We take them every single day, and we expect our dogs to smell fresh as a daisy after a week of not taking a shower. Gosh, we wouldn't even smell. We'd smell awful after a week. And so there's a little bit of disconnect on, what's reality here. But I will say there are dogs that stink a lot less, and you can go a week or two and not have them stink up. And this is getting actually back to shedding versus non-shedding. A non-shedding dog, most of those non-shedding dogs end up being less stinky dogs. And so that's a quality that I really, really like about Susie. Gosh, you can bathe her, put a conditioner, nice perfumey conditioner on her, and a week later, you could still smell the conditioner in her. Now, Callie, the shedding hound, she's a stinky dog. And she's in the hound family. Anybody in the hound family is going to be a stinkier dog. So after about 3 days, we're like spraying cologne on her to get her to freshen up and all that kind of a thing. So stinky versus less stinky is basically a non-shedding dog is going to be less stinky. A shedding dog is going to be more stinky. And once you get to the hound family, the Bassets, the Dachshunds, and things like that, even more stinky. The bigger, the stinkier as well. So Callie is not as stinky as a Basset. The Bassets are probably like 3 times bigger than she is. And so that Basset's going to have more surface area. It's going to be stinkier and all that kind of stuff. Bathing solves all this stuff. And if you are a Basset lover, then you're going to say, who cares? I'm going to give it a bath, or I'm not going to care at all. And that's the way it is. We have a friend in Chicago, loves Bassets. This is in the past. Gosh, when we go over the house, I'm like, I smell that Basset. But she's like, hey, it is what it is. And I'm like, I'm good with it. I don't care. It's your house. It's your Basset. I'm fine. And all that. I'll still play with it.
Yeah.
And so had fun that way. So stinky versus less stinky. I also pointed out, though, on the stinky versus less stinky, ear cleaning. So if it's a stinkier dog, you're going to do more ear cleaning. Typically, the Spaniels even fall into that one. Anything with long ears, you tend to do more ear cleaning. Why? That's a form where some of that stink comes from, is actually right from their ears. Put your nose in their ear and you'll go, holy cow, that's where it's at. And so keeping up on the ear cleaning is going to less stinkify that.
And you've got some products to do that.
Oh yeah, we've got a multitude of products for that. So that's what I wanted to go through as far as just what's the right breed for your family. If you're all about one breed and you don't care, go for it. But if you want to go in as a knowledgeable person. But if you're more the one is, hey, find me the right dog, come into Petland, and we have 50 puppies to choose from, different breeds, shedding versus non, big versus small, all that kind of stuff. And we can start, what is it that you're looking for, and describe it, and we'll start helping you with it. And you might go, well, this is my second choice as far as what I really want, but it's so cute. And you're going to end up, falling in love and loving that one.
Yep. That's great thing that happens every day at Petland with families finding that next next member of their family. And we still have a few more minutes left. I know you want to talk about Merrick. Is there anything else you want to talk about on this topic?
Well, the comforting thing I didn't get to really well. Should we push that? Should I? Here, let me hit a couple of products. I guess I could hit the products that customers were looking for this week, but keeping your dog comfortable. I hear more and more about people coming in and saying, my dog has this issue, whether it's a digestion issue or a hair loss or a licking issue or whatever it is. They've got a lot of different things out there. There is a lot of great products out there to help us with our dogs. I recently came into a product that is, I had it up here. It was like a banner ad. But it was a product that Erythis. Yeah, they didn't make it so you could say it. Erythisoothe. That's what it says. Gold by Nature Vet. This is one of their top of the line products to comfort those older dogs with joint issues, backaches, and all that kind of stuff. And Wendy and I stumbled across it when Callie, our 15-year-old dachshund, and any dachshund owner knows, ooh, how's that back going for you? Mm-hmm. Actually, extremely well. Like Callie is active in every way, still trotting upstairs, still running, still having fun. But I'll tell you, 2 years ago, we thought life was not going to be all that good anymore for her because she stumbled a bunch and she had back issues and she wouldn't go up the stairs, and you think you'd get it figured out, and then 2 weeks later she'd do it again and all that. Some of it we had to change her pattern. She was going up and down the stairs to get things. Well, we brought them all on one level. Okay, so we solved some of that. But when we started doing Erythisoothe Gold by Nature Vet, man, she just perked up. This has a lot of different products into it, and I'm like, I don't know which one is really kicking butt in here, but Callie's doing really good. So that is something I wanted to point out in a large way. Erythisoothe Gold is really good. It's got the glucosamines, it's got the MSM, but it's got a lot of other stuff in there that it's working really good for us. Then the other side, another big topic that we talk a lot about in our store is, well, my dog is real itchy. We rule out, it's got fleas and all that kind of stuff. As much as we can, we've got some products to stop the itching really good. Again, in the Nature Vet line, they got this Allure 911 product line, and the Allure is referring to allergies. 911 is I need help now, that kind of a thing. So we've got products that you can put on those hot spots, those itchy things, so that it calms everything down. But it's got a lot more than just that in it, because people are coming back and going, it not only, the dog stopped, but it went away. And some of it is the dog just keeps on licking and occurring the everything. Whatever it's doing, it's working really good. So we're getting a lot of great feedback on the Allure 911 products in our store. So if you've got kind of a skin type issue, everything from inner ear to fur to paws to the back to the belly, leg, all those kind of areas, we've got products to help you in those areas. So you want to check this out. We've not had one of those products returned, because I always say these things are guaranteed. If it doesn't work, I go use half the bottle. I don't care. Bring it back if it's not working. And nobody's bringing the stuff back. So they're finding a lot of good, and sales are going up, kind of thing. So that from a retailer, that's how you know that it's working, because they're coming in and buying another one.
Yeah.
So,
good.
So that's another nice line. Both of those are our Nature Vet line. You'll find that we got a lot of Nature Vet products, because they do a really good job. So check that out and see if we've got a solution to your issue.
That's Ron Salzer with Petland of Iowa City. This is the Positively Petland Show, and just a couple minutes left now, but enough time to get in that tasty food.
Okay, this is a holy cow. Merrick, and this is nothing new, but so many people don't even know about it. Merrick is a dog food and cat food out there, really good quality, made in America, really wonderful line that they have. Always
made in America. Get it?
In America.
Get it?
You're so funny.
I like that.
Hey,
made in America.
He's back. He's got the humor. Everything's coming out. I love it. So they've got names on their cans: Cowboy Cookout, Grammy's Pot Pie, Thanksgiving Day Dinner, Southern Comfort. All these really cool names, and you're like, okay, so big deal. When you open, there's like brats and tots or something like that. When you open these up, it is what it says it is. So the brats and tots, you open it up, there's brats in there. And then when I fed those to my dogs, holy cow, you like stand back.
Yeah,
it's
but the
just
dogs
crazy
love
good.
it. Yeah.
You smell it. It smells really, really good. The Thanksgiving Day feast, that is something that we sell out every Thanksgiving, and we still have some. We got some back in now, even after this last Thanksgiving, because people were just grabbing it. And it's one of those, we buy cases of it. We don't even notice it going out the door kind of thing. And we just check sales and we go, holy cow, 30 cans went out the door today. It's that because you open it up and you're like, it's got chunks of stuff in there. It looks really good. Looks like I should just take a spoon and go for it.
And there's a usefulness to it too, with all these holiday parties coming up real quickly. I know it's one thing you've promoted in the past is that you give your dog that before everybody comes over. Get that belly nice and full so that they're laying on the couch, and then you serve it up your turkey or your meal.
Yes,
and then they're not begging at the table for
to me it's just fun. And obviously you do what's right for your dog. If you're not supposed to overfeed and all that, don't go there. But on our dogs, they're healthy, fine, everything's good. Our cat, everything's going good there. So what we do is we feed them their normal kibble meal, so we get the good nutrition in there. Or the normal stuff and everything. But then we really overdo it on those. And it's just kind of like letting them be like what we do kind of a thing. And so a small dog getting a half a can of food, that's a tremendous amount. And then when Susie comes waddling out,
I'm full.
Yeah, that's just stinking cute. And everything always works out fine for our dogs. If you find different for yours, then you obviously want to cut back a little bit, overindulge a little too much. But these cans are just for that. If you really wanted to get a nice treat, the Merrick canned, these are even grain free and all that kind of stuff on top of it. They're really good for your dog. They smell good. We do it from time to time throughout the year, and I just put maybe I don't overindulge every single time, so I put the remainder of them either with a cap on the can, we got those, or I put it in some Tupperware. And then I can bring it out again.
Yeah, just be sure to mark it before you put it in the fridge.
Oh, that's the funny, and the story. The first time, this is like 9 years ago, we brought, it was the cowboy stew home. And Wendy opened it up. She used some of it and put it in Tupperware. And I didn't even know, she like went, holy cow, this stuff smells good and all that. Well, she put it in some Tupperware. And then she put one of those little yellow sticky notes on there. Ron, don't eat. And I'm like, what's this all about? I had to open it, and I'm like,
maybe I should eat this.
Why can't I eat it? It smells really good. Kind of stuff. And when she got home, she goes, it was because it's dog food, Ron. And I went, oh, okay. Thanks.
It's gone, Ron. He ate it.
He's with a big grin on my face.
So
check out Merrick
Merrick
canned food. We've got a ton of it in our store. We've got most of all their little flavors that they have. So you just try a different one and see what your dog likes, and keep the palate wide open. I love variety in my dog's food and all that kind of stuff. So our dogs eat a lot of different things really, really well.
Made in America. I love it. All right, we're out of time for the Positive Petland Show. For Ron Salzer, I'm Jay Capron. Check out the Positive Petland Show. It's every Sunday morning at 9 right here on KXIC if you're listening, or on podcast page, kxic.com. And stop by the store. It's a great place to go. Lower Muscatine. It's a lot of fun. Bring your family along. Play with the pups. And maybe your next family member is waiting for you. Until next week. Bye.